Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the SU-100. It's a Soviet Tier 6 tank destroyer, and it's located on the north spawn of Cliff under the command of BetimAbazi. Now, it's the same chassis as the SU-85, which is derived from the T-34-85, and carries a 100mm gun. In fact, actually, it can carry a variety of guns, including the 85mm, 100mm and 122mm. But this one is carrying the 122mm. So he's got alpha damage of 390 and penetration of 175. And he's being very aggressive with it. Now, you may have seen replays that I've done before with the SU-100, and it got a nickname during the Second World War. It was called Pizdet Simu, and that means the end to effing anything. When I say effing, I mean it's a swear word, but anything that went in front of that gun normally died. So you didn't want to be on the receiving end of a shell from an enemy SU-100, because it normally meant that you are doomed. Well, we've got a BK gone into the gap. We didn't see him move in, so obviously he must have had fairly good camo to get past us without being spotted. Got a few tanks up ahead of us as well. They didn't see him. But we're using the bush mechanic on this position, so we're waiting for somebody to make the mistake of going into that gap. They probably know now that there are tanks watching them though. So we've got some movement behind us from several other tank destroyers, including a Hetzer and an SU-85B. Now, they made 2,495 of this tank destroyer. Oh, who's that firing? We saw that an IKV-65 went through the gap and nobody saw him either. In fact, somebody's firing at the wall instead of firing at the enemy. I think it might be that SU-85B. Ah, now we've got a target. An ARL-44, but because we can see him, we're not fully concealed, and yeah, the gun points towards us. So we're angling as we pull back, and the ARL did see us, so the enemy Arty, well, there is no enemy Arty, so we don't have to worry about them shooting at us, but the enemy knows where we are. And it looks like Betim's going to relocate to a new position so he doesn't attract any fire. So he's moved over to a different house, different bush, so he can spot and see if there's any enemy. No, just that Panzer 4H at the moment. Reload time is 10.57 seconds, so it is quite long, but remember, it can do a huge amount of damage, this one. 390 alpha, and that KV-2 is anxious to get up the cliff as much as we are. And I hope he doesn't push us out the way. Yeah, he is trying to do that. He is a bit of a noob, so he doesn't understand what he's doing. You're being an idiot, Mr. KV-2. You try and hinder your own team from getting somewhere, then what you're actually going to do is only bring about your own death in the process. BK-1301 not paying attention. It's a low roll. But only just. Oh, no, it's a high roll. Sorry, what am I talking about? 390 alpha. Oh, we took a round, but we put the BK out of his misery. Now, there's a whole bunch of tanks up ahead of us. And we just took a round from a T-25 TG. And we put the Chi-He back in the garage with just one shot. Now, using this ridge line here, we can creep up on these bushes. And then we can turn to face the enemy who are further north, or further east I should say. And there's a P-43 Biz up there. We're auto-aiming onto him. Nope, aiming normally. He's gone into cover behind that rock, so we can't see him at the moment. It's a T1 Heavy just a bit further up though. We might be able to put shots into him, but it would mean moving up. And the KV-2 just put a massive hit into that T1 Heavy. But he took a hit in return. And there's the P-43 Biz firing down, and we got a big round into him, but it's a low roll. We can get one more shot, we'll take him out of the game. Long reload. Oh no, fell short. Hit the rock face, but there's a marder over there. Can we get a shot into him? Well, we know where he was. Unfortunately, he's gone unspotted. We fire a round in, and no joy. Now, Betim's only using standard ammo throughout this game. He's just got AP and HE. And he's killed the marder with a blind shot. He got him. He remembered where he was, fired the round in, and killed him. And that KV-2, even though he's still alive, he's only got 63 hit points left. That's the same one who was obstructing us when we came up. And he's moved over. So he's actually on near the far east side of the map. Now, there's a P-43 on top of the rock. That's the one that pulled back after taking shots at the KV-2. We haven't seen him since. But we've got a Matilda behind us. We get a shot on him. We've auto-aimed. And one shot, he's out the game. So that's 4 kills. And the P-43 Biz is now visible again. Now, can we get a shot? Well, not really, unless he comes this way. He is coming this way. Oh, what a shot! Very narrow aim, and he got it right. So that's his 5th kill. One more, he gets the top gun. Now, is there anyone in the enemy cap area that we can see? There's the 25 TP that fired at us earlier. We tracked him. Now, he's probably going to fix his tracks before we reload. But he has taken bad damage. And that kills him. That's the top gun. Now, Panzer 3J, next one. And he's out the game, one shot in. That means we're now one short of getting a Radley's. And there's one enemy left. It's the AT2. There he is. We know where he is. Just need to get shots on him. Lining him up. Auto-aiming. Oh, yes, that's a Radley Walters. Wins the game. Nicely played. And a little victory dance by Betim. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for BetimAbazi in the SU-100. In fact, it's the first ace that he's actually had because it's got the scrolls underneath. He also picked up a Fire for Effect and Bruiser medal. And here's the good ones. He got a Radley Walters medal. He killed 8 of the enemy, more than half the enemy team. And he also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle, a tanker sniper for getting the highest damage at a distance of 300 meters, and also a top gun for getting at least 6 kills. So let's have a look at the team scores. Well, there you go, 2,901 hit points of damage. The next highest score was P-43 Biz. He got 1,512. And then we got the IKB-65-2, who managed to get 1,014. When it came to kills, it was definitely BetimAbazi. He got 4 times the next highest scorer, which was the KB2 on his own team, as long with the T-3485, the Churchill 1, and the P-43 Biz, IKB-65, and AT2 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he was top of the table again, so he's got a clean sweep at the top. He got 1,340 base experience points. The next highest score was the Churchill 1 with 562, and then the KV2 with 530. He fired 14 rounds during that game. He got 12 direct hits and 11 penetrations. Damage of 2,901 hit points, of which 1,000 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy. 1 was a penetration, 2 were non-penetrations. And he also blocked damage of 185 hit points. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 8 of them, and also did damage assistance of 595 hit points. On a premium count, he earned 51,339 credits, got 25,670 for completing the mission and events, and after repair and ammunition resupply, and remember he used standard ammo throughout, he actually ended up with 62,003 credits to take away. He picked up 6 bonds, for getting the Radley Walters, the high caliber, the tanker sniper, and the Top Gun. And he also picked up 2010 XP plus 804 for completing the mission event. So he took away 2,814 experience points altogether. So a very high score on the Win8, 10,111. So very much Super Unicum standard. And he really dominated that game with the SU-100. You can see that even with the 122mm gun, because of course the 100mm gun has got a slightly better reload time than the 122, but it just doesn't do nearly as much hit point damage as the 122 does. So he certainly showed that the tier 7 122mm is really a good gun to play with this particular tank destroyer. So yeah, you can pick and choose. You either have the fire rate with the 100, or you do the damage with the SU-100, the 122. But if you enjoyed that replay by BetimAbazi, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.